Hello, my name is Drew, and I am an independent consultant for Arbonne International. I'm also a business owner and one of 50 million people worldwide living with a neurological condition called epilepsy, which is responsible for causing seizures. I had an experience today when I went to go check my mail that gave me a great reason to talk to you about Arbonne. I get this great little magazine here called Epilepsy Advocate. And Epilepsy Advocate's a fantastic publication full of inspiring stories about how to live with epilepsy, how not to let it get you down, new drug trial information, and so many other great resources. But then there's also things like this, which this is a medication guide for a drug being advertised and promoted in this magazine. And in it is a daily reminder of the difficulty that those of us, the 50 million worldwide living with epilepsy, face. There's a section right here in the first column that says to call your healthcare provider right away if you have any of these symptoms, especially if they are new, worse, or worry you. And they are as follows: thoughts about suicide or dying, attempt to commit suicide, new or worse depression, new or worse anxiety, feeling agitated or restless, panic attacks, insomnia, new or worse irritability, and the list goes on and on, including acting aggressive, being angry or violent, and acting on dangerous impulses. And so, I'm somebody who was born with epilepsy and who grew up with it and have struggled with the challenges that it brings. And I recently found a new drug for my epilepsy that helps control my seizures. It is very, very necessary for me to take, and it's called Keppra. But every morning I would start my day by coming to this white bottle, and that has all these fancy little labels on it that says may cause drowsiness, may cause dizziness, warnings for pregnant and nursing women, and about the taste and how bitter it is, and mood changes. And so twice a day, starting with the first second of the day, I get to come to this big pill here, which, put up beside a penny, is quite a bit bigger. How many of you have swallowed pennies? Because I know that that's not something I'm into. So twice a day, that's what I had to look forward to. And quite frankly, I suffered from depression, and the side effects from this medication left me sometimes unable to even get out of bed. And I was still having problems with seizure auras and other things like being bloated and having no energy. I had a wonderful job that I enjoyed as a head of marketing for a great company, and I had no energy. I would come home and go straight to bed and not wake up until I had to go to work the next morning. And then one of my friends, two of my friends actually, Barbara and Marilyn, who are independent Arbonne consultants, introduced me to Arbonne, gave me the gift of Arbonne. And one thing that I got hooked on right away, literally from day one, is a line of products that changed my life, and that is Arbonne Essentials. And so I want to tell you about that today, because my morning used to start, like I said, with this white bottle and the big old horse pill and all the warnings about suicide and all this crazy behavior. And now, in addition to taking my pill that does, I will admit, help control my seizures, I also have this little baggie that I put together for myself every day. And in my medication, there's not a single thing I can pronounce. I can't even pronounce the technical name of it. It starts with an L. I know that much. But what I do have is my Arbonne Essentials Daily Men's Power Pack. And this is full of multi-minerals, multivitamins, probiotics, enzymes, things that help build my immune system, since epileptics with their medication are prone to infection, and I know that's the case with other medications as well. And it's actually full of ingredients that I can actually pronounce the name of. I've got a list here, B vitamins, grapeseed, cranberry, pomegranate, and black pepper. Hey, I know what those are, and those are things I enjoy every day. And so I take this with my medication now, and it gives me energy. It helps build my immune system. It makes me feel great, gives me the energy I need to not just survive the day, but to feel normal, like a normal human being, to not worry about the condition that affects me that really, thanks to Arbonne Essentials, no longer affects me. At least that's how I feel. Then I have what I take next, my Digestion Plus. This little thing here is full of prebiotics, probiotics, and enzymes. And I can go ahead and mix it in with water. I like to personally just take it like a pixie stick right out of the packet. It tastes great. And it helps me with digestion as well, and it takes care of the side effects of my medication. Then later on in the day, I go and I take my Energy Fizz tab, or Fizzy tab as I like to call it, and drop it in a glass of room temperature water. It dissolves. It's got more probiotics for me. It also gives me energy. And in this, it's got more ingredients that I can actually pronounce the name of. Green tea and ginseng. Who doesn't love those, and who hasn't heard of those? And then last but certainly not least, I've got my Fit Chew. And in my Fit Chew, it's got rhodiola, which makes you feel good. it's something that naturally enhances your mood. And you go on Wikipedia, any place, you can learn about these natural ingredients if you haven't already heard of them. So instead of just taking something that I don't even know what it is, and I just know that my neurologist tells me to take it, I can take things that are botanically based, that are safe for my body, and that I actually understand how they work, and they're things that the ingredients alone I would consume and I could buy in my grocery store. And when I get hungry here, I've also got my Arbonne Essentials chocolate protein shake mix, which I absolutely love. It's the greatest protein powder I've ever tried. Breaks down so easily, and it doesn't gum up. It's not sticky or gritty, and the flavor is amazing, not to mention the texture as well. And in that, not only am I getting 20 grams of vegan protein to help me feel full longer, but I'm, getting energy boosts and over 20 essential vitamins and minerals, and there's no saturated fats, trans fats, or cholesterol, and there's also no artificial sweeteners or artificial flavors, artificial colors. And so I'm taking things that are plant-based, that are good for me, that I can go out and find in the grocery store, find in, my grandmother's garden when I go to see her, and put those into my body, all made in America by Arbonne, and they've completely, for me, eliminated any side effects from my medication. I have energy, things that, so many people take for granted, that I now have thanks to Arbonne Essentials. And so if you'd like to visit my Arbonne website, drew.myarbonne.com, or go ahead and shoot me an email at drew@myarbonne.com, I'd love to tell you more about Arbonne Essentials and the full line of Arbonne products, things that are safe, pure, and beneficial.